What is going on YouTube? Today's video is probably one of the most requested videos I have. I got you guys 20 different class setups with attachments and tuning on every single gun. I got snipers, ARs, SMGs, pistols, shotguns, we got them all. And they're not in any order or anything. And I'll be going through them like kind of quick and showing you guys how they perform in the firing range. So if anytime you guys need to pause the video, make sure to pause the video, take a screenshot or whatever. But starting off, we got the MCPR sniper rifle. This sniper rifle will probably be used as the long range sniper rifle for most. We got the Cronin Lion stock for the aiming stability. I'll show you the tuning on that. If you guys want to just pause the video for the tuning and everything. There's just so many attachments to go through for all the tuning and stuff. Laser, this is really up to you if you want the laser visible or not, but I was using the Corio LAS 44V3 for the aim down sight and aiming stability. You can also, if you don't want the laser to be visible, you could rock just the ADS or the aiming stability laser. For the barrel, I was using a 22-inch OMX barrel, tuned just for the damage range. Like I said, for any tuning, you guys can pause it. For the muzzle, I was using the TAQ Dreadnought. Tuning is there, bullet velocity, ADS speed. And then for the ammunition, I was using the mag armor piercing. I used the armor piercing on a lot of different weapons because you can tune this to give you damage range and bullet velocity. And it also has bullet penetration and vehicle damage. It's very good. I'll show you guys in the firing range. Not really much to show off with this as it does one shot to the head. Probably going to be the heavy sniper used by most. Very good sniper rifle. Then on to the next weapon, we got the MP7. Now this build is a bit of a hybrid. This is like perfect to be paired with a sniper. It's got that medium range optic. It's like a 2x optic, the SC SRO, the Slugger Soldier grip for the sprint to fire and ADS speed. Tuned it for ADS speed and sprint to fire. The phase 3 grip for ADS speed as well. This also gives recoil stabilization, makes it easier to control at range, and aiming idle stability. Then the X10 RR40 muzzle, tuned it for ADS speed and bullet velocity. And the Slugger RV barrel, tuned it for recoil steadiness and damage range. I'll show you guys this in the firing range. Free fire it, it's very good, medium range. And it even gets you some long range, but medium and close range, what we're going for with this, with the 2x. And mounted, it is a beam. You'll have no problem controlling it while mounted. Very good SMG in this game. I'm sure the MP7 will be used by a lot of people. Okay, then on to the next weapon. I'm going to show you guys the mid-range sniper. Now, I have the long-range sniper, which you guys just saw, the MCPR. This is the mid-range sniper, the SPX-80. Then I also got a close-range one, which we'll look at later in the video. But this one is a very good mid-range sniper. We have the PVZ stock for the ADS speed and sprint to fire. Tuned it for ADS speed and aiming idle stability. Like I said, this one's going to be more like your Kar 98. You're going to be running around gunning with this. You're not going to be really sitting still with this one. We're using the Slugger match grip for the sprint to fire and ADS speed. Tuned it for ADS speed, left the sprint to fire and aiming stability alone. We have the SS bolt for rejammering speed, just get faster shots off. Then the armor piercing round. Like I said, you're going to see this on a lot of my classes because it gives you damage range, bullet velocity, and bullet penetration if they're behind objects, And then we have the Corio laser again. Also, if you guys, like I said before, if you don't want to rock laser visible in ADS, you can always rock the ADS or aiming stability laser. I'll show you this one in the firing range. Much faster fire rate than the MCPR. Go ahead and fire it off. Much faster, you pop your shots off. Good weapon handling. Sprint with it, it's pretty fast. Super fast ADS speed. Probably be using this one more than the MCPR. The MCPR is a little bit slower playstyle. This one kind of fits my playstyle a little bit better. And then for the secondary, we got the Fennec. And this is probably going to be the best SMG, if not, close to being the best SMG. And I got you guys with the hipfire build. So this one's built, very close up. Start with the barrel. We got the 5.5-inch Fennec mini TAQ. Put damage range and recoil steadiness, as you're going to need this because this thing has like no recoil control whatsoever because it's so close range. FTAC stock cap just gives you that movement speed and hipfire recoil control. And we're going for the hipfire laser. So, and also I would recommend using the laser visible for this one because you're only going to be using it up close anyway. So it doesn't really matter if they see the laser. And the hipfire is just so good and the time to kill is so fast. It'll be so good up close. We also got the VX Pineapple underbarrel, hip recoil control and hipfire accuracy tuned. Then we have the Fennec 45 round mag so you don't run out of ammo. And this thing it has really good hipfire accuracy. So I think that's 10 meters right there. So yeah, 10 meters, got very good. I'll try it at, I think that's 20 meters. So the 20 meters, it's, it kind of drops off a little bit more, but it's still very good. That might actually be, I think that might be like 30 meters. But ADS should be fine. It's just once you get past that 10 meter mark, it starts to get a little bit hard to control. but it's still very good. And you also run super fast sprint to fire, ADS speed. If you're mounted, you probably won't be mounted that much with this. This is more of like a, you know, hip fire run around SMG. Very good build. I think this one, or I have another build later on, I'll show you guys, will be one of, if not the best SMG in the game. Okay, on to ARs. We'll start with the TAQ-56. We are using the Slogger 4x optic. And for these optics, you kind of, I mean, it really depends on you, but if you tune it to be far rather than close at the bottom, it gives it less visual recoil, as you guys see once I show it in the combat range. We have the Tundra 14-inch barrel pro for the recoil steadiness and damage range. Harbinger D20 muzzle, recoil smoothness, bull velocity tuned. The phase 3 grip, recoil stabilization, aiming idle stability, and the armor piercing rounds. Now this is up to you if you want to rock the armor piercing rounds or a larger magazine like the 40 or 60, but beware, if you do rock the 40 or 60, your ADS and movement speed will be lowered by a bunch. And this thing is a beam. This thing is a beam. So I'm not mounted at all. And I love this sight too. Also, if you don't want to rock the sight, there's, you know, 4x VLK sight. But this is like right in the sweet spot, 3.4x optic. Very good. And then free firing, it doesn't even have a lot of recoil. And then mounted, I mean, this thing is absolute beam. I think this will definitely be one of the top ARs to run in Warzone. And then we're going over to the AK, or the Kastov 762. Another very, very good AR. Rocking the same scopeless slogger 4x with the weapon tune to be far. Then we're also rocking the demo ×2 grip for more recoil control and aiming idle stability. This one you have to put a little bit more recoil attachments on than the Scar because this one kicks quite a bit. We're rocking the phase 3 grip as well with the recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. With the ZR Talon muzzle, again tuned it for recoil control and bullet velocity. And then the barrel tuned it for damage range and recoil steadiness. And as you guys see in the firing range, this thing does kick a bit. It kicks more than the TAQ-56 of Scar. But this thing is absolute. It deals so much damage. It's got good headshot multiplier. Very heavy AR. You definitely see a lot of people using this one. And that's free firing. Mounted, this gun might be one of the best in the game. It's very, very, very good AR. And then onto another AR SMG combo, we have the M4, which probably a lot of people just be using just because of the name. But honestly, I think it's probably the third best AR behind the TAQ-56 and the Kastov 762. But we're rocking the Slogger 4x. Again, we're rocking far. You want that less visual recoil with far. The high tower barrel with recoil steadiness and damage range. Harbinger D20 suppressor with recoil smoothness and bullet velocity. And as you'll see, I mean, most of these ARs have the same attachments. You know, the same suppressor, same underbarrel, and you want the largest barrel in optic. But obviously you can change the optic to be whatever you want, and you can, you know, tune these however you guys want. But I tune these for mostly for recoil control and kind of balancing the ADS speed, maxing out the recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. Then we have the armor piercing rounds, and once again, this is up to you if you want to rock 45 or you want to rock these. I'll probably be rocking this just at the start to see how the 30 round feels, because this gives you that damage range and bullet velocity, and we'll go ahead and test it out in the firing range. Still very easy to control at range. Very good AR. Like I said, I think it's a little bit behind the TAQ-56 and the Kastov 762, but I mean, you can't go wrong with M4. M4 is just a solid gun overall. Very solid gun. And we go into the SMGs. We got the Vaznev 9K. This is the gun that the pros use right now in the CDL. This gun is very good. It's very versatile. It's very fast up close. We have the X10R muzzle, but we kind of built it out for range and ADS. We kind of balanced it. We built it out with ADS speed and bullet velocity on the tuning on the X10R muzzle suppressor. And then we have the SA response barrel for recoil steadiness and damage range, just a heavy barrel for the damage range recoil control. And then we have the Slogger PQ box for the ADS speed. This is the one that doesn't show. Like I said, this is really up to you if you want your laser to show or not. Me personally, on some of the guns, some of the hipfire guns up close, I would, you know, not mind it showing, but on guns I want to ADS up close and walk around, I'd rather not show the laser. And then for the rear grip, we got the true TAQ grip for the sprint to fire and ADS speed. Like I said, I tried my best to balance these out. I already tested all these before the video, and these are personally my favorite class setups for every gun. We tuned it for ADS speed and sprint to fire speed, and then we have the 45 round mag just so you don't run out of ammo, especially with this one because it's a little bit of a pea shooter at range, but it's still very good, as you see. Very low recoil too. Fast fire rate. Good time to kill. You can easily tune this for more handling up close, but the handling is already very well. It's one of your heavier, one of the heavier SMGs, but it's got low recoil, as you guys can see. Very, very good. Could be a good sniper sport, SMG. Okay, now skipping around, we go to the DMRs. We'll go back to the ARs and SMGs in a second, but for right now, I want to guys show you the EBR-14. I honestly think one of the DMRs, if not the EBR-14, will be the meta in Warzone. I think these high damage, you know, single shot weapons will probably be the meta. As I play tested it, like I was using, I think the TAQ Recon, which is a battle rifle, and it was two-shotting to the head. So this is a marksman rifle. I don't think people really use the battle rifles because they're just in the middle of ARs and marksman rifles. I think people probably lean to the marksman rifle since they're a little bit heavier. But for the class setup, we were rocking the Polar Fire S muzzle. We tuned it for bullet velocity. We left the recoil smoothness and ADS alone. The Bore Master barrel pretty much gives you recoil control, and we tuned it for max damage range. The Slogger 4x optic. We left this one alone because the single fire weapons don't have a lot of visual recoil because they reset after you shoot once. So you don't really have to worry about recoil control. We have the high velocity ammunition, tuned it for the damage range and bullet velocity. Very good ammo. And the phase 3 grip, which we just left alone because again, you don't really need to worry about the recoil stabilization, and I don't want to mess up the ADS too much. Test it out in the firing range. It's a 2-shot weapon, very good. 2-shot at all ranges, at least in multiplayer. And I'm sure in Warzone it'll probably be 3 or 4, but it's just very good damage range. And obviously low recoil because you can't really fire it that fast anyway, so the recoil like resets, which I think, me personally, I think this and the Fennec will probably be like the 2 top guns for long range and close range. Just my guess. And then we have the pistol. Now we've got some crazy pistols in here. This one is the Akimbo version of the X16. I also have another one that I'm going to show you a little bit later on, but this is the Akimbo X13. Just be very, very good up close. Make sure you have the Akimbo attachment. Want the 33 round mag, not the 50. The 50 you're too slow, and the 24 you just run out of ammo too fast. 33 is kind of the sweet spot. For the laser, you want the best laser possible, so the one that shows no matter what. It gives you that hipfire recoil, hipfire accuracy, and sprint to fire time. With the XRK Sidewinder barrel, we tuned it for recoil, steadiness, and damage range because you don't need to worry about aim walking speed because you're not ADSing this, or aim down sight speed because you're akimbo or you're hipfiring it the whole time. Then we're rocking the FT Steelfire muzzle. We're using recoil smoothness and bullet velocity. Like I said, you don't need aimed outside or aiming idle stability because you're not even be aiming. And these pistols are very good. They kill very fast up close, and 10 meters would probably be the max range. So if you just want to rock the pistol, I wouldn't even try kill somebody that far away. But if they're 10 meters or less, it can definitely get the job done. Okay, onto the second marksman rifle that I think will be very good. Now the TAQ-M and the EBR actually have very, very similar stats, and for the builds, I actually have very, very similar builds. Using the Slogger 4x optic, tuned it for the far. It doesn't really matter because the recoil, resets itself with a single shot. So it's really preference if you want this close or far. And then the armor piercing ammunition, tuned it for damage range and bullet velocity. The phase 3 grip, left it alone. Polar Fire S muzzle, tuned it for recoil, smoothness, and bullet velocity. And the LR1 barrel, tuned it for recoil, steadiness, and damage range. And like the EBR, it's 2-shot at pretty much all the ranges. And I can definitely see a lot of people using it. Yeah, I think the fire rate, pretty much all the stats are the same. I think the TAQ-M has a little bit better handling than the EBR. So we'll just have to wait and see which one is actually better than each other. And then onto the pistols. You guys have seen this in previous videos. If you guys have watched them, this is the Snakeshots. They put it back in the game. They called the Basilisk in this game. But we're using the Akimbo with the Snakeshot ammunition, the Bryson HD trigger for recoil smoothness and sprint fire, since we're not worried about aiming since it's Akimbo. FTAC Arrow barrel for recoil steadiness and damage range, and the Basilisk grip laser. These are very good, very strong. 10 meters, like the other Akimbo pistols, I probably wouldn't use them farther than 10 meters. If you're inside a building, you can use these as like a shotgun close range. Not a lot of range to them at all, to keep them balanced. Okay, so we have one LMG on the list. This is the only really LMG that I thought, I should make a class setup about. The other ones are okay. The problem with the LMGs is they're just so slow, and they're like kind of in the middle between you should just use a sniper or you should just use an AR. They don't really fit the movement speed in this game. They're a little bit too slow. But I did make the RAAL MG class setup. This thing is an absolute being. This thing is super strong. I could definitely see this thing being used by people, holding down objectives or holding down positions. Of course, I was using the Slogger 4x. You want to tune this for far, for the less visual recoil. The Bruin Grip Q900 tuned it for ADS speed, left everything else alone. The SA side grip, we tuned this for recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. And the EXF Rhino 21-inch barrel for recoil steadiness and damage range. And then the FTAC Reaper muzzle for recoil smoothness and bullet velocity. Show you guys this. Like this LMG and like a lot of LMGs, it does take a while to ADS. But with Warzone and the extra health, you know, I could definitely see people rocking this. Let's go mounting. It does have a bit of kick on it, but it does pack a punch. And then for our secondary, we're rocking the MP5. This is another very, very good hipfire build, just like the Fennec. I think it's even better than the Fennec for hipfire. This one has a good time to kill. We're using the limitless stock mods, pretty much no stock. For the movement speed, the 40 round mag so you don't run out of ammo. The point G3P laser for the hipfire, recoil control, and hipfire accuracy. Very, very good. In the TAQ-M sub barrel for that hipfire control and recoil control and damage range. Then we tune this for the recoil steadiness and damage range, the barrel. Then we have the VX pineapple underbarrel, and we tuned it for hipfire control and hipfire accuracy. And as you guys see in this fire range, this thing is amazing. Like 10 meters. 10 meters, it's like almost 100% accurate. And then at 20 meters, you have to, you know, you have to control it a little bit. It's a little bit wobbly, but this thing has very, very good mobility because of the no stock option. And you can still ADS it too. It's got a pretty fast ADS. It's got a little bit of recoil too, but like I said, this is more of a hipfire build. This is going to be very good up close. It's got good sprint to fire time. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to using this one. This is very good. And then moving on to this SAB 50 sniper rifle. I said I had the MCPR and we have the SAB, you know, the long and medium range. This is your super close range sniper. This is more of like a fun class to use. This is the SAB marksman rifle. Gonna throw on the carbon barrel and tune it for aim, walking speed, ADS speed. Throw on the Choreo laser for aimed outside and aiming stability. I mean, this thing is built to be like an up close sniper shotgun. This thing aims so fast, good sprint to fire speed, could pop off quick shots, get those headshots, knocks. We are using the XRK Spectre mod stock for movement speed, the Slogger match grip for the rear grip, aim, and tuned it for ADS speed and sprint to fire speed. Then the 5-round magazine, which it normally has 10, but the 5-round adds movement speed, ADS speed, sprint to fire, all that good stuff. And this thing is really fun to use. You can even use this in multiplayer. But yeah, it's just so fast. Like, look at the aim, walking, movement speed on this. It's so fast. And the ADS speed and sprint to fire speed are just amazing on this. This is pretty much like a pocket sniper shotgun. Super fast. And then for the secondary, we have the X13 auto. Now, I said I had two X13 pistols. This one is more of a SMG, so it's in the pistol category. So if you're not rocking overkill, you can rock this X13 auto pistol. And the main thing is the impact point barrel. So this adds the ability to put on a underbarrel or a stock. And with this barrel, we tuned it for recoil steadiness, damage range. Threw in the FJX laser for the ADS speed and aiming stability. Okay for the laser because you're only going to use this up close. You're going to be aiming it anyways. The FT Steelfire muzzle with the recoil smoothness and bullet velocity tuned. And the phase 3 grip with recoil stabilization tuned as well. And then the 33 round mag, just so you have enough ammo. 24 is a little bit not enough, and then 33 is kind of the sweet spot. Show it to you guys in the firing range with the nice fall camo. I mean, this thing is this is a pistol, remember? And putting on this special barrel, you know, makes it into like a kind of a small SMG. So it's not your, you know, normal close range pistol, but kind of a longer range pistol that you can use up close. And it's got a pretty good hipfire too. You can throw on a hipfire laser and use it better up close as well. Okay, I got 4 more weapon classes for you, starting with the AK-74U. Now this thing is solid. If you guys watch any of my videos in multiplayer, I've dropped nukes with this thing, and I have no doubt this is going to be very good in Warzone as well. I'm using the true TAC grip, and I tuned it for ADS speed and sprint to fire. Armor piercing ammunition with damage range and bullet velocity. Phase 3 grip for aim down sight speed, and we kept the bottom alone. The BR-209 barrel for damage range, and the Slogger PQ box. I believe this is for ADS speed. Like I said, lasers are really up to you. You can rock the laser visible in ADS. I just prefer on sub weapons no laser visible. And this thing has great mobility, great sprint to fire, great ADS speed, and very, very good damage. Definitely see this being a medium close range meta SMG in Warzone. You know, not as fast a time to kill as the Fennec or the MP5 up close, but medium range. It's got very, very good DPS. And then for the pistol, I just threw this in because I know a lot of people you know, probably asking, you know, where's the Deagle? And I know some people are probably going to want to use it because it is one of the nicest looking guns in the game. For our Deagle class, we're using the GS wood grained rear grip, tuned it for ADS speed and sprint to fire speed. You can ignore all the recoil steadiness on this gun. We have the armor piercing ammunition for damage range and bullet velocity, SA competition trigger for ADS speed and sprint to fire, adds a fire rate as well. Very, very good trigger. Then we have the SA Tyrant 50 barrel. We tuned it for aim, walking speed, and damage range. And the FJX laser for ADS speed, aiming stability. Very, very good pistol. And like I said, because the gun resets the recoil, like you don't really have to worry about, you know, the recoil taking to the roof. It's a very, very strong pistol. As you guys already know, the Deagle just looks amazing too. Ooh, and then on to the very last two guns. You know, I had to throw in two shotguns. We have the Expedite 12, aka the Spaz 12, and the Lockwood 300, which are the 7.25. For the Expedite 12, I only have 4 attachments on here. Fifth one is really up to you, but the 4 attachments I like are the hipfire accuracy and hipfire, or the hip recoil control laser, the Emperor barrel tuned with aim, walking speed, and damage range, the SA Schween muzzle suppressor gives you that ADS speed and bullet velocity, and then we have the Lock grip precision underbarrel for hip recoil control and hip fire accuracy. And again, the 5th attachment can be up to you, a sight, a sock, a bolt, whatever you like. Very good shotgun up close. I don't necessarily think the shotguns are going to be meta in this game because none of them are really, you know, too crazy unless we find out some like crazy one-shot shotgun. Obviously you can put on slug rounds, and the slug rounds can one-shot, but you have the ADS and get kind of lucky if you hit fire the slug rounds. And then the 7.25 or the Lockwood 300. If anyone's using a shotgun, it'll probably be this one because this one is very strong. I'm using the Heist stock mod, it's pretty much no stock, gives that movement speed. The Slogger ULO laser, hipfire accuracy, and recoil control. Then we're using the 812 barrel. We tuned it with damage range. You want to get a max damage range with the shotgun. The Sakin suppressor muzzle, tuned it with ADS speed and bullet velocity. Don't really care about recoil control with the shotgun. Then the Lockwood precision barrel for hip fire, recoil control, and hip fire accuracy, so you can get better, you know, shots from the hip. This shotgun, I could definitely see this thing being a problem in Warzone. Not only is this thing like super fast to run around with, but it has super far range. Only thing that the downside is obviously the 2 rounds, but I could definitely see this being a problem in Warzone. If it's good enough. And those are all 20 class setups with attachments and tuning. If there's any other class setups you guys want me to try out, make best class setups for or tune, just let me know in the comments down below. Hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.